slugs 825. One and two the count here to Shoemaker. Rolling from the belt, the 1-2. This one fouled away. Scott Mayer is our home plate umpire this afternoon. Tatum Stolting will be at first base, and Alex Leap is at third. First of three here this weekend between these two in Athens, Georgia. The 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike three. Shoemaker down on strikes, one away for Randy Rolling.
Randy Rolling coming in here with this beautiful curveball, just skimming the outside corner of the plate. Really deceptive pitch for her. We're going to be seeing her throw a lot of curveballs. She can do that. She can throw rise. Rise has been a go-to pitch for her, but she's really going to need to attack the zone early this weekend and locate her drop as well. It's a pitch that's gonna help her other pitches.
There's Jocelyn Erickson, the senior from Phoenix, Arizona. 413 hitter on the year. One and one the count. 67 RBIs, tied for 12th in D1, 413 hitter, like we mentioned, 19 home runs leading the way for the Gators this season. Rolling misses outside, 2-1 the count. This will be a series this weekend that's going to have a postseason feel to it. As the 2-1 is popped up, it will stay in the dirt. And making the catch is Bailey Lindemuth from third base, 2 down.
Yeah, you mentioned that postseason feel. It's going to feel a little bit like a super regional. These teams have met several times over the past 10 years in Super, so it definitely has that postseason feel, especially being so close to actual postseason.
You mentioned it's going to feel like that. Obviously, two big-time teams in a late-season matchup. As Kendall Grover looks at a strike, 0-1.
I think we're also going to see stronger crowds throughout the weekend as we get to Friday night and Saturday as well. Senior Day on Saturday.
Good group is here this afternoon. A lot of blue there along that first base side as Grover knocks one back foul out of play. She's behind 0-2. Ford always traveling well in the SEC. And still early for a Thursday night, so folks still filing into Jack Turner Stadium. Opener of the series, and saw her come in relief Tuesday night against Florida State. And she'll get the start here this afternoon. And she delivers a strike to Jaden Goodwin. And the count 0-1 here to Goodwin. 399 hitter on the season, just shy of 400. And here's a ground ball back to Rothrock. She'll bobble it briefly and make the play over at first for the first down. So one down, and Tyler Ellison, the designated player, will be up for Georgia. It'll be a righty-on-righty matchup here for Keegan Rothrock. Quick strike here to Tyler Ellison, 0-1. Rothrock bringing a 2.28 ERA into the game this afternoon, 166 innings worked. The 0-1 is popped foul out of play, 0-2. One down and 2 away. .42 RBIs leading the team for the designated player. Senior from McDonough, Georgia, and that one's going to hit her. Comes in there on the thigh, and that never feels good. You prefer that over a hand or somewhere with little skin or protection. That still doesn't feel good.
No, it definitely doesn't feel good, but at least you have some meat right there to take that one. Rothrock trying to throw that screwball in, just cuts a little too far. However, Georgia will take the free base.
Absolutely. So 1 out and a runner at first base now for Georgia. And Sarah Gordon taking a strike, 0-1, senior from Lexington, South Carolina. 404 hitter on the season in this senior campaign. 10 home runs, second on the team. .15 doubles, leads the team. That one bounces in the dirt, 2-1 the count. Batting 9 for Georgia here this afternoon. Natalie Ray down in that 9 spot, senior transfer, .413 average, leads the team. Has been struggling a little bit lately as Gordon fouls that one away, 2-2. But as a senior, you trust that she's going to kind of figure it out a little bit. Tony Baldwin putting her there in that 9 spot, knowing if you come up late in the order, she's got the opportunity to get on base, turn the card.
Yeah, and I think something so powerful about this Georgia lineup is you can look up and down that lineup and talk about some really cool stuff for each one of these batters throughout the lineup.
Sarah Gordon swings and misses for the second out. And there'll be 2 down with the runner at first. There's Tony Baldwin. 5th season as the Georgia head coach. Of course, longtime assistant prior to that under Lou Harris-Champer. 3 straight super regionals. Go back to last year. It was Florida that Georgia saw in the super regionals. Gators eliminating Georgia from the postseason and advancing to Oklahoma City. And the cleanup hitters, Marissa Miller, the senior from Suwanee. Even here, 1-1, 290 hitter here in the senior season. That one to right and into the glove of McClellan. And that'll do it for the Dogs in the first. We go to the second. One of the premier programs in the SEC, 9 SEC titles, 2 NCAA titles. Back in Oklahoma City a season ago, one of those 13. And certainly in prime position, have a very high seed going into postseason this year. And Tim Walton, the Florida head coach, will look on from the third base side while the Gators bat. Back-to-back SEC titles in 2014 and 2015. Pretty happy with this group this year, I would imagine. Four, 5, and 6 for the Gators here in the second. Of course, Florida coming off a really good win against Florida State earlier this week, splitting the season series with Florida State, another top 10 team here in 2026.
Another game that he talked about feeling like a super regional.
Yep.
And when we spoke with him about that and kind of what are the conversations around, around this as we're approaching postseason, having such a strong team, and he talked about just talking them through being present in the moment and playing this game. So what is Friday night or Thursday night against Georgia looking like? We're going to focus on that game first before focusing on the SEC tournament or even the next Georgia game.
Well, big series, obviously you get the rivalry aspect. You're a top 5 team, top 10 team, depending on which poll you look at. You're number 1 in the RPI. You'd love to go on the road, take 2 or 3, continue to really kind of strengthen your positioning on that number 1 overall RPI, and maybe try to angle yourself for a number 1 overall seed.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier them wanting to just keep their foot on the gas right here and just continue playing strong.
One and two the count. There's a little bit of a battle here between Thomas and Rolling. And they'll do it for another pitch.
Thomas, someone that's going to keep the defense on their toes a little bit. She's got speed. She can, drop a bunt where she needs to, but she's also got some good power. So defense has to be ready for anything.
And a freshman at that. So here's Kinley Cahalan. .60 RBIs for 6th best in the SEC. For Cahalan, senior from Trussville, Alabama. Two and one the count here. As Cahalan in a lefty on lefty matchup. Here's a ground ball. That one foul. Count even up 2-2. And here's how Thomas was recorded out. Saw that foul ball. And what you don't see in that camera angle is the umpire pointing at her and telling her she is out. It's officially listed as a unassisted out to the catcher. As Cahalan swings and misses for strike two. We'll take another look at it there as Cahalan strikes out for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, you see that foot come across that line right in front of the plate. So she's going to be out of the box right there and called out because of it.
So two down. And what was a really good battle between her and Rolling. And what we thought was going to continue on there with another foul ball, instead out of the box.
A play that happened pretty quietly on the field.
It did. The scoreboard didn't know that she was out. They didn't announce that new batter was getting into the box. Here's the six-hitter, Ava Brown, the designated player. That was a big cut. 2-1 the count there to her. Brown ahead here, 3-1. Florida looking for its first base runner of the contest. Rolling delivers high. And Florida has its first base runner of the afternoon. It's a 3-1 walk to Ava Brown. And here's Cassidy McClellan.
After two quick outs, then a free pass for Brown right there. Looking for Rolling to come back right here, lock it down, get out number 3 to get out of this inning.
Lefty on lefty matchup here for Randy Rolling, as that one delivered for a strike. 0-1. Calling a junior from Lakewood Ranch, Florida. .328 hitter on the year, 10 home runs. Breeze blowing directly in right now. As that one is low, 1-1 the count. Mullen takes a cut there at that one, 1-2. Madison Walker waits on deck should she get the opportunity to bat here with 2 down. Rolling with a big deep breath, the 1-2. Fouled back. It's a little rainy this morning, but it has turned into a really nice day in Athens, a little cool. Highs in the low to mid 60s. Harry Dog in the house here as well. That wind has picked up all of a sudden, and it is blowing at times directly to right, sometimes directly in. 1-2, here's a grounder. Going to be a tough play. Rolling's going to win the foot race there. Cut off the first baseman, scoop and tag. And we go to the bottom of the second in a scoreless game. This inning. Check out that season slugging heat map. Obviously, the red, darker colors, she's hitting the ball. And if Ariza ball doesn't hit its spot, she's got a good chance of putting one in play, as Gabby Novickis is going to ground one over to Cahalan at short. And it'll be tossed out for a quick first out to open the inning.
Yeah, Rothrock is going to definitely have to be very picky about how she navigates Roos right here, especially with that rise ball being her go-to pitch. She's going to have to work other pitches throughout the count in order to make that rise ball more deceptive.
Comes in there 70 miles an hour and misses for a strike.
Something that is a little bit unusual about Rothrock is you saw it right there, that rise ball that's a little bit lower. It's not coming in at the chest. It's coming in, at the belt. And so she can throw that rise ball at different levels.
There's a grounder to first, and unable to get back in time is Madison Walker. And the first baseman quickly coming in to field the grounder, but just too deep to get that momentum stopped and get back. And it'll be an infield single for Kirsten Roos. Georgia with this second base runner of the evening. Here's Bailey Lindemuth, the third baseman. Sophomore from Burleson, Texas, looks at a strike. .344 average on the year. Has homered 3 times and driven in 25, slugging .508. Kirsten Roos, not necessarily much of a stealing threat. She just 1 for 2 on the year. And she plays tight to the bag there at first base. And therefore a called strike 2. Lindemuth sticks the bat out there. She'll go around for the strike. 2 down. That's 2 strikeouts now for Keegan Rothrock.
We'll see this ball again right here. Definitely outside the zone. Has a little bit of tail even further out in that zone. Lindemuth definitely knows that she did not want to finish that swing, but could not stop the bat in time. 2
down and a runner at first. Here's Emily Digby. junior from Decula. And so always a ton of good games to watch. Single elimination, got to get it done.
Yeah, it's definitely tough to get it done in a pressure situation like that, especially in the SEC where there is such tough competition. But it's a benefit that these two teams have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, have a little bit more rest time before you have to turn around and head to Kentucky.
Addison Walker, it's 8-9-1 for Florida here in the third. Walker behind quickly here, 0-2. Be a strikeout and a throw out. And one down here as Walker retired.
Randy Rolling has used a variety of pitches today, which makes her changeup that even goes in the dirt like that one did. It's going to make those more deceptive because she's got multiple different pitches that are working out of a similar tunnel.
That one popped to Rolling, and Gabby Comilla is retired on one pitch. It's a quick out there for Randy Rolling, and now we'll go top of the order and through for the second time.
With two quick outs right here, Randy Rolling definitely needs to take a breath and attack this batter right here, not letting any free passes happen.
That one bunted up in the air and right into the glove of Bailey Lindemuth. It's a 1-2-3 third inning for Randy Rolling. Met several times in the postseason.
Yeah, that's what gives these games such a postseason feel, is that you know this is a very real matchup in the postseason.
And here is Natalie Ray leading things off.
Natalie Ray is a senior who came in mid-year, transferred in mid-year, and there's obviously a little bit of a learning curve that comes with that, being at a new school, getting comfortable with your new teammates, your new environment. But as the season has progressed, she has really settled in, earned her way into the lineup.
1-2 sent out in to left. Thomas will field it out there for the first out of the inning. So Georgia will go through the lineup now for the second time. And Jaden Goodwin, who only saw two pitches in the previous at-bat. It's a 1-0 count here to Goodwin. 0 for 1 after grounding out. And gets the home crowd energized here at Jack Turner Stadium. 9th home run and 36th RBI of the season for Goodwin. And here's Tyler Ellison, who reached her previous appearance after getting hit on the leg. Took a big cut there at that one, 72 miles an hour coming in. Ellison will be retired on strikes. 2 down to the bases empty. Here's the 3-hitter, Sarah Gordon. Gordon taking a big cut there at that one, 71 miles an hour. And you were a pitcher. Give up a home run sometimes you get a little feisty afterwards, and Keegan Rothrock has put some sauce on these last few.
Yeah, it definitely puts a fire underneath you. What's interesting about Rothrock, though, is that she can hit that 72, low 70 speed, but she's also works that 67-mile-an-hour pitch that we just saw. She's got a high 50s off speed that we've seen throughout this game. So she's able to work a really wide variety of speeds throughout each at bat.
We showed you the slugging map a moment ago. Here's Sarah Gordon's heat map for slugging on the season. Come inside, especially on that lower half of the zone, she is generally making contact.
Yeah, she's definitely wanting that pitch on the low and in.
Really go up and down the middle of the strike zone there. She is finding contact.
Yeah, even outside of the zone, you see where she's getting hold of a lot of pitches that are outside of that strike zone. Makes a pitcher think twice about where she's throwing it.
When you just don't have a lot of gaps in your swing, I mean, that's a challenge for any pitcher to try to find somewhere safely to put the ball.
That's why having different speeds, different pitches is so valuable, because you can keep a hitter off balance even more if you've got multiple pitches working, if you've got multiple speeds working. Tony Belvin doing a little dance over there to get out of the way of that one. Looking like Michael Jackson.
Had some moves there for a second as Sarah Gordon pulled one his way. One-two, this one lifted to right. And foul ball once again. Good battle here between Gordon and Rothrock.
I know there's a foul ball, but that's that pitch that's outside of the zone that she can make contact with. And, like, that was a deep ball right there. If she makes contact and that stays fair, that could be out of the park.
Yeah.
Very easily.
The 1-2 once again. This one fouled back towards us. Eight pitches in this at bat. This will be number 9 upcoming. Battle between Georgia's 3-hitter and Keegan Rothrock. Gordon out in front of that one. She'll swing and miss for the strikeout. Georgia on the board.
Is not even crossing the zone. It's staying below the zone. But because her other pitches are working so well, spinning so well, that changeup becomes even more deceptive for that swing and miss strikeout.
And you and I have gotten the opportunity to watch Randy several times this season, and at least her last few home appearances, this thing is absolutely laced to right field foul. She really hasn't had her A game. She's just been able to go pitch by pitch, batter by batter, and really just and truly have to pitch and work through each lineup. But here tonight, she's really bringing her A game, matching Keegan Rothrock.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked a little bit about that and her having kind of her B game, but she's making her B game work. And tonight, we're definitely seeing her A game with multiple pitches just spinning so well. Her change of speed working for her.
We are definitely seeing A-game stuff out of Rothrock as well. She has pitched really well. Give up the 1 home run, but otherwise she has been very effective.
Yeah, I think both of these pitchers also just very efficient in how they're working these batters and these counts as well.
Behind here, 3-1 to Jocelyn Erickson, at risk of giving up her second walk of the evening. Here's Randy rolling. Taking there on the 3-1. Count goes to 3-2. called for as count full here on Erickson's 2, 3, and 4 for the Gators here in the fourth. To right into foul territory with a bead on it there is Gordon. And she'll track it down for the out, 1 down.
There's that passion that we love to see out of Randy Rolling. Fired up that Sarah Gordon tracked that ball and made that catch. Gordon definitely had some obstacles over there. She's fighting the tarp right there. And then we'll see Rolling's reaction again right here. Pumped up for the first out.
A comeback there for Rolling behind 3-1. Kendall Grover, the third baseman, she struck out to end the first inning. Trying to find her way aboard here in the fourth inning. Out in front there, 1-1. Three seniors in this starting lineup tonight for Florida. Fouled back into the net, 1 and 2. Townsend Thomas, the only freshman cracking the starting lineup here for Tim Walton. That one misses 2-2. This is not when I say not a deep Florida team, I mean just sheer numbers-wise. Florida typically carries one of the smallest rosters in the SEC, doing that once again this season. Never seems to bother the Gators. They may not have the number of players on the roster, but everyone is talented. Multiple players can play multiple positions as well.
Yeah, this team is always very versatile in that it's very strategic how they carry fewer numbers, fewer players, but they're able to move players around very easily and still be super effective.
18 on the roster this season for Florida. It's the smallest roster in the SEC and in the Power 4. But 8 players can play multiple positions. As this one is popped to center, coming in is Ray and making the catch, and a long at bat there with Grover. And Rolling will get the better of her there on that one as that one nestles into the glove. 2 down. And versatile positions, really good bats. I mean, you look at these numbers for this Florida offense this season: second nationally in doubles and hits, 7th in home runs, top 5 in RBIs. And when you put those bats with Keegan Rothrock in the circle and the ability that Florida's got to pitch the ball, very easy to understand why they're a very serious threat to win it all in Oklahoma City.
Almost a line drive, just a really hard hit ball.
And here's Kinley Cahalan.
Might have forgotten her elbow guard there.
And now time called is Tim Walton going to come over and talk with her. 1-0 the count here to Cahalan. She struck out her previous plate appearance in the second. Spent 2 seasons in Alabama before making the transfer to Florida. This one grounded foul. One and one to count here to the shortstop. Her cousin saw a couple weeks ago here in Athens, Claire on the Missouri softball team. 2-1. That one misses. That one will miss. So after the solo home run by Townsend Thomas, Cahalan will walk. And there will be a base runner aboard here with 2 down. And the designated player, Ava Brown.
Miller's going to come out right here, give Rolling just a chance to breathe. You had a quick home run and then a walk. So wanting Rolling to really settle in right here, take a breath, know that she's got some of her best stuff right here in this game, and go right back after it.
There's some action in the Georgia bullpen as Destin Howard, the right-hander from Macon, beginning to get loose. So 2 down and a runner at first here for the designated player. Ava Brown walked with 2 out in the second. Junior from Montgomery, Texas. Watches that one float in, 1-1 the count. In there for a called strike, 1-2. Good eye there as that one comes in, 2-2 the count. Cassidy McClellan waits on deck.
Looks like we got a little visitor on the field.
We have a friend making an appearance, and we've been wanting folks to come to Jack Turner Stadium. We're looking for this guy's looking for a way out.
It's not where he intended to end up.
Florida first base coach got very tight to the foul line, wanted nothing to do with the squirrel there. This one is fouled back towards us. I feel like there's been an uptick of wildlife making its way out onto playing surfaces here lately. Scroll through Sports Center, there's, goose on the field in Chicago.
No one talks about whose job role responsibility it is to. What an answer back from Florida right here.
Florida getting down 1-0 in the bottom of the third, answering back with 2 home runs of its own. All our offense coming off the long ball here for both teams. Which we talked about both of these pitchers and how good they have been this afternoon. For all of the hits that have scored these runs coming off home runs, I guess that'd tell you that they're just missing somewhere and hitters capitalizing on it.
That, and these are just some really good hitters. We have a lot of good hitters in this ballpark tonight. So it definitely creates a challenge for these pitchers in both Rolling and Rothrock. But yeah, definitely maybe a little bit of miss. But a miss in this scenario, when you have such good hitters, can mean a quarter of a ball.
And a hitter that good is going to get a hold of it.
Correct.
Tied at hits with 2 apiece. Florida has made its 2 hits count. Both home runs. And taking advantage of the 2-out walk to Cahalan. As McClellan will swing and miss. She'll be thrown out at first. But Florida does damage here in the top of the 4th.
Levels, which is what makes that pitch so effective for her and something that she can use in so many counts.
get started here in the bottom of the fourth, 4, 5, and 6. And it's Marissa Miller. Come up, 2 boys, Cooper and Tucker, good night. See you 2 tomorrow. Cooper being good for mom tonight. Probably not.
When dad's away, the boys will play. Is that how it goes?
There is a lot of truth to that. 3-0 the count here to Miller, taking all the way. Gabby Novickus and Kirsten Roos due up behind Marissa Miller. One in there for a strike. Rothrock has fought back 2 straight strikes here to run it full. Outside, and it's a leadoff walk here for Georgia and Marissa Miller. As the lights now on here at Jack Turner Stadium, starting to get just a little darker. A little cloud cover has darkened things up. That wind continuing to blow. And when it picks up, kind of going out towards right. So a runner at first with no one out. Here's Gabby Novickus, who grounded out on the first pitch that she got a look at in the second. It was the walk that really hurt in the top half of the inning after Cahalan walked. Brown drove her in on the home run. Can Georgia make Rothrock pay with the walk here? Just 2 hits for each team to this point. Base runners definitely going to be at a bit of a premium here, I think, the way these 2 are pitching tonight.
Yeah, and that's why those not giving up free passes is so important in a game like this, because it can be the difference in a run that scores.
Two and 1 the count here to Novickus.
Rothrock with a pretty good ball to strike ratio, as you saw in the top left.
Oh, liner. And a good job there by Miller to dive back into the bag, but Novickus sent a rocket over to third base. And Kendall Grover sees it in and makes the play.
Pure reaction right there by Grover, able to get that backhanded catch right there, and knew exactly where that base runner was, had heads up defense to know that she needed to get that throw over to first immediately. Miller did a good job at diving back into that base. It's like we're doing a home run derby here. Roos, we know she has so much power. She's able to take a ball a little bit elevated over the middle of the plate and take that to center for that home run. A very similar situation to what we saw in the last half inning with Florida. A walk on base, that free pass, and then a home run scores them.
So the base is empty once again now with 1 away. And here's Bailey Lindemuth, who struck out in the second as Roos greeted by the team there in the dugout after being met at home plate. And you saw Rothrock on that replay. She knew it was gone immediately. She immediately was kind of already flushing her mind, getting ready for the next batter.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you definitely know when your pitch misses, and you know when they make contact. You probably don't even have to turn around to know that that ball is gone. You saw her immediately pull her jersey up to her mouth, like she knew that that was a mistake. A pitch that was left a little bit elevated over the middle of the plate. Not something we necessarily see from her, but it is a risk when you are a rise ball pitcher.
Florida has the right-handed Allison Sparkman up in the bullpen and getting warm. Sparkman, a junior from Canton, Georgia. And obviously you'd want to see Rothrock go as long as possible here in the series opener, but I think everybody knows the stakes involved, the momentum that you can pick up from the first game of a series, whichever way it goes, especially on the road. If you're Florida, you really want to get tonight.
Yeah, and I think we're in a position right now where they're not going to make that change yet, but if Georgia continues to chip away and get big hits like that, you know, a walk here, a base runner here, all of a sudden it's a whole different game. And so both teams are going to want to be prepared for that situation.
2 of Georgia's 3 hits are home runs. Both of Florida's hits are home runs. And pulled foul towards the Florida bullpen. The count will move full now, 3-2. Fouled away. Good battle here between these two. Lindemuth looking to reach for the first time today. Ground ball to second. Fielded cleanly and tossed over by Gabby Comia. And that'll be the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Emily Digby. Flew out to ride. Two 2-0 the count here to Digby. Time of year you want to be playing your best softball. Florida comes in here, winners of 3 straight, 4 of the last 5. There's a ground ball to short. Gahalen over to first. And that'll end the inning defensively here for Florida. We are through 4. It is a leadoff walk from Marissa Miller. And we are tied at 3 as we go to the top of the 5th inning.
And all of those home runs against pitching that is doing really well in this game still.
And one misses 1-1 the count. 1 base runner for Florida in the first 3 innings. Both those home runs with 2 outs in the 4th. Rothrock has been really good. Goodwin and Roos have both homered. Rowling also has been outstanding for Georgia. You saw that number for Florida, 1.75 home runs per game in the SEC. Second. Already beating the average here tonight.
Yeah, the offense definitely came out ready to rumble tonight.
8-9-1 for Florida here in the 5th. 3 runs on 2 hits, both home runs for the Gators. 1 left. Georgia 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 runners left. Here's a ground ball to Digby. And that'll be the first down of the inning. We're mentioning there in the bottom half of the previous inning, Florida coming in here winning 4 of its last 5. That 1 loss last week on the road at Florida State against a really good Seminole team. evened up the season series Tuesday night with a 4-3 win in Gainesville. Georgia kind of felt like it was starting to play some of its better softball of the season. And then the Texas Longhorns come to town. Count 1-1 here to Yami Komiya. Had a chance to win the first game, did win the second, lost the third. And those games against, obviously, RPI in top 25. As this one is lifted to right field. Gordon comes on and makes the catch for the second out. And then you go on the road to Oklahoma last weekend, and Tony Baldwin said there's no excuses. We lost the game. But with the way the Texas series worked with the scheduling, you get Georgia Southern in a midweek. You turn around and travel the next day to Norman. You don't really get to prepare for arguably the best team in the country.
When they had a Monday game that week, too.
Correct.
So Monday, you have your off day on Tuesday,
Wednesday.
a midweek on Wednesday.
That one back up the middle here off the bat of Taylor Shoemaker, and the leadoff hitter is aboard now with 2 down.
And then you're on the road traveling at 8 a.m. or whatever to a different part of the country. That takes a toll on your body. But you mentioned it, you don't have a time to necessarily prepare for Oklahoma hitters. I think it's interesting, though. Obviously, Georgia's had a really tough end of SEC play with Texas, Oklahoma, Florida throughout that Texas and Oklahoma series. And so far today, we're seeing some really good moments from Georgia.
Yeah.
And something that I think that we heard Coach Baldwin say when we spoke with him earlier this week is that Georgia's just not winning those moments consistently enough where they matter, which is causing kind of those losses. But there's still some really good that come out of that.
When you go back to that Oklahoma series, and obviously Georgia with little prep played better as the weekend went, got run ruled on Friday night 10-2, but lost on Saturday by 2 runs, lost by a run on Sunday. There are no moral victories for sure, but arguably the best team in the country, you drop 2 games by combined 3 runs to them, you're playing some pretty good softball.
And I think even that run rule, the game did not feel like the score showed, if that makes sense. It felt like a more competitive game.
Yeah.
And then obviously a competitive series because of that. So I think there's just, it's a good sign heading into postseason for the Bulldogs that they can compete with the best of the best, and that they are potentially just hitting their stride going into postseason, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You want to be peaking at the end of this season.
Meanwhile, the Florida squad over there, you look up and down this roster, the teams that they've beaten this year, 46-7 on the year. This one is golfed to third. Tough throw, and that'll get the out at first base. This is a Gator team playing some of its best ball at the end of the season. Georgia will bat as we go to the bottom. Really good once again this year. But Florida, with its 2 championships back-to-back, 2014 and 2015, in that conversation of having the most all time. Of course, the usual powers out on the West Coast, Arizona, UCLA. To left center, that ball is tracked down, and a good catch made by Taylor Shoemaker in center at the wall. And that'll be a loud out to get things started here in the 5th for Georgia.
That had the look of some of the other home runs we've seen in today's game so far. Really hard hit ball.
Yeah.
Up the middle. Just didn't quite have enough oomph on it.
That one's going to hit Jaden Goodwin. That's a tough spot to be in there. Goodwin, one of your best hitters. She's on base, but you'd almost like to let her have the bat and try to work her way around.
Yeah, free passes are never a fun option for a defense. But UGA is definitely going to look to capitalize on that right here. You have some real good speed on base now in Goodwin, so using using that speed, getting her around the diamond.
3 for 4 on the season in stolen bases, and both teams tonight have made the other pay when they've given up free base runners. And the count 1-1 here to Tyler Ellison. She was hit by a pitch in the first, then struck out in the third. Two and one the count here to Ellison. Little bloop. Throwback to first, and that'll be a double play. And that'll end the inning defensively here for Florida as Ellison pops it to short. Cahalan with the catch. 3, 4, and 5 for the Gators here in the 6th. As Kendall Grover, 0 for 2 on the night, will lead things off. We have seen several moments of excitement out of both teams here. This one is skied to left. Goodwin watches that one in a few feet shy of the warning track for the first out. And you go back to this win on Tuesday night, evening up the series with Florida State on the season. And Coach Walton talked about just playing with passion, enjoying the game, especially in big moments like that where it's a postseason type of feel.
Yeah, he talked about taking the emotion out of it, and he used passion as a word to describe like that excitement that they're playing with and that joy that they're playing with on a daily basis.
And no play right there. Randy Rowling getting to it and just putting it in her pocket as the speedy Townsend Thomas, who homered in her last plate appearance, going to bunt one aboard, and now a runner on at first.
That's what I mentioned earlier. She is going to keep a defense on their toes. She's got the speed. That was a relatively hard bunt back to Rowling, and Rowling was ready to make that play, but Townsend was already there. But I think going back to your comment earlier, Caleb, about this Florida team just playing with passion, one of the things that we spoke to Tim Walton about was the conversations that were happening around the end of the season and the excitement and emotion and everything. And he's talked about how he's talking with this team about playing present and staying in the moment. And I think that's where that passion comes in. You're able to really enjoy those moments and learn from them as well.
Coach Walton once again got another good squad here. Kinley Cahalan. Popped at the chalk line as Kirsten Roos comes over and makes the catch for the second out. 2 down here in the 6th. And that'll bring Ava Brown to the plate. Chelsea Wilkins out of the dugout now for the second time this afternoon to talk with her pitcher. Tim Walton will take advantage of the opportunity to talk with his crew.
It was a very similar situation as we had when Brown was up last time. She had a runner on first, and she absolutely smacked one over the fence. Is able to get her hands out front, taking that ball just over the wall.
The second of 2 home runs in the inning. And the DP driving in 2 with the swing of the bat. Part of a 3-run 4th inning. She'd certainly love to do it again right here and give Florida the lead as this ball game's starting to get late.
But I think that's exactly the reason that pitching coach Chelsea Wilkinson came out in that moment to talk through what the approach is going to be for Ava Brown in this moment. and in this at-bat.
.91 pitches now for Randy Rolling. She's missed close here on the last two. And there's a strike, 2-1. McClellan waits on deck should she bat here with 2 down. Off the end of the bat. Be a tough play as Roos loses it. The throw to third. Not in time, and sliding underneath the tag there was Townsend Thomas. Some good base running from her to go first to third on what ended up being a pretty close play at third.
Yeah, that was a super tough play at second for Kirsten Roos. That ball just dies, and that you can tell the spin throws Roos off, and she's not able to field that ball cleanly. She tries to come up. She sees Townsend Thomas turning second. Great heads-up running by Townsend Thomas to understand that that ball has gotten away from Roos, and to get that extra base right there, that could be a difference maker in this game.
And Julia Desiderio is going to pinch hit here. And a pinch runner at first base for Ava Brown. And it'll be Callie Matsuno pinch running at first base. Desiderio, a senior from Hudson, Florida. Fouled back.
With a catch in the stands.
Rolling after the bunt single. Brown on a single. It was ruled a single to second base there with Roos. That was going to be a tough play. Florida with 5 hits now. And runners on the corners with 2 down. A big pitch for Randy Rolling. A big moment for the pinch hitter. Defensive swing with the bat there. That one fouled off. Here's the 1-2. Held off on the swing. That one comes high. 2-2 the count. And time called. Randy Rolling fired up for her defense. 3-3 in the bottom half. Time with a pair of strikeouts. To shallow right. And McClellan, who got pinch hit for there in the top half of the inning, back in defensively. And we'll make the play. Here's Marissa Miller, the catcher. Want to know the count to her. Want to thank our crew, doing a phenomenal job as always here. Has worked really hard all season. Bringing SEC softball to you wherever you may be watching as Miller takes a strike 1-1. Rachel Matrian working our low third camera this evening. Sam Carroll, our high home. Ron Gierach over at high first. Clay Malloy bringing you the shot you're looking at right here as the 1-1 goes in there for a ball, 2-1 the count. Jason Jefferson down at low first this evening. Appreciate everybody bringing you the nice pictures here from Jack Turner Stadium. Two one in there for a strike, evens things up 2-2. Michael Feinberg, our technical director this evening, assisted by Caroline Rochelle. Eric Dunn on video, Sam Walters on graphics, Jaden Marvin on bug, Van Johnson, our replay lead with Kyle Brown assisting him on those replays as this one is grounded foul. Told Liam England actually got subbed in to Shade back on the technical side tonight and graduating this spring. Congratulations, Liam. I know that is an exciting time. Hopefully all the finals are done. Hopefully got that so still got finals going on, I'm being told.
Do not. And some are in the middle of doing that, waking up early studying, staying up late studying, trying to get their schoolwork done.
And if you're Florida, you're doing finals time and you're traveling. It's always an added wrinkle. And then everybody's going to be gone next weekend to the SEC tournament. Zeke and the Rothrogs ball and strike split here this evening.
Yeah, Tim Walton mentioned that this Florida group specifically is very strong academically. So traveling while you're doing those finals is not ideal. There's definitely, scheduling, you're rescheduling exams, trying to get, exams maybe proctored on the road. There's a whole bunch of logistics that go into finishing the school year strong. And especially if you're a senior that's graduating, you might be done with finals, but it might be crunch time for you.
Good battle here between Miller and Rothrock. Tony Baldwin nods in approval. Tenth pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Beth Ann Nieblen, our director here tonight, and ground ball to short. And over to first for the second out, and the pride of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Blake Hines. Whispering all the corrections in my ear, always appreciate that.
Just keeping you honest.
Somebody's got to. So after a long at-bat battle, 10 pitches there to Miller. She'll ground out, 2 down, and the base is empty for Georgia. In the bottom of the 6th inning. And here's Gabby Novickus. 0 for 2 night for Novickus here so far. Fouled back out of play, 1-2. Georgia's got Kirsten Roos waiting on deck, who is 2 for 2 on the night. Georgia with just 3 hits in the game. That one, tough catch, couldn't make it. Shoemaker there in center. A heck of a hustle throw back in to get it back off and cut off at second. A tough play for Shoemaker. That one kind of coming in quick, died fast, just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, that was a lower ball. Great effort right there by Shoemaker. That's exactly when you want to make that play, that attempt right there. She was there. She just didn't get it. It hit her palm almost and bounced out of her glove. Didn't quite get in the mid of her glove. Definitely impressive attempt right there.
Natalie Donaldson will pinch run now for Georgia. Here's Kirsten Roos, a single and a 2-run home run to her scorebook tonight. It is a 1-0 count to her. After Florida took the lead 3-1, it was her 2-run shot in the fourth that tied this game up. And that went into foul territory. That home run back in the fourth inning on an 0-1 pitch. Dead to center.
Yeah, again, a very similar situation as we saw Bruce in earlier. Runner on base, ready to be moved around.
Defensive swing there off the hand. Two and two the count. Bailey Lindemuth waits on deck. The next three hitters in the lineup all 0 for 2 for Georgia. And that is a called strike 3. And a massive pitch by Keegan Rothrock.
Teams tonight in this final inning. And in this moment, obviously, this is a big moment. You're in the seventh inning, tied game, trying to take the first one of the series and get that momentum. But you can't press right here. You can't put too much pressure on yourself right here, and not one individual person especially. This is the time to be present and play in the moment.
Only a 2-to-1 ball-to-strike ratio there.
Yeah, I think as we mentioned earlier, there have been some really big hits in this game. But it's not because pitching's been bad. Pitching's been really good on both sides of the ball tonight.
Swings at the 2-1. .103 pitches now for Randy Rolling. Madison Walker getting a piece there to stay alive. Fouled away. You see Gabby Novickis give it chase back in the game defensively after getting pinch ran for there in the bottom of the inning. Two and two the count here for Rolling. Smashed to left center. That ball at the warning track will die short of the wall. And Madison Walker just misses the go-ahead home run.
And you saw that sigh of relief from Randy Rolling right there. I mean, off the bat, I thought that one was gone. That was a hard hit ball. It was a high ball. I thought it was going to travel. Lost any wind we have right now, so there was nothing fighting against it. And we've seen some long balls tonight.
So a very noisy out there for the Gators, as that one did have the look of one that was gone off the end of the bat. And as soon as you say something about the wind, it has now picked back up, blowing left to right across the outfield. Gabby Comilla 0 for 2 on the day. Home crowd has gotten a little frustrated with Scott Mayer's strike zone here later as we've went into this ball game. Rolling 110 pitches with this next one. Comia taking there, and
I think that was a smart take. Definitely on the outer part of the zone.
answers back with back-to-back strikes. Count now full. Off the end of the bat. Short. Close play and safe at first base. And a bang-bang play there at first that it looks like Comia has been able to leg out and beat on the throw.
A well-hit ball over there to Digby, and she's able to make a clean transition and clean throw. Comia able to use her speed to leg that one out. Really close play over there.
You saw Lindemuth almost go for it, but coming fast enough, Digby had to come get it. And that was just put in the right spot by a speedy hitter. And able to leg that one out as this one will go on the outside half. Now top of the order once again. This will be the fourth time through for Florida. And Taylor Shoemaker, the center fielder. Her numbers in the SEC this season, outstanding.
Yeah, she's definitely been a spark at the top of their lineup. Someone who's been stepped up and been a leader for this team as well. Obviously, in her sheer talent, but also off the field as well.
16 home runs, second on the team. Georgia has kind of held her in check a little bit here tonight, just 1 for 3. Got a single with 2 outs in the fifth.
When we talked to Tim Walton about how Shoemaker can be so effective at the top of the lineup, he just praised her on just how she is naturally. She's a long and lean hitter. She's got great hand-eye coordination. But she's just very steady in the box as well. And praised that about her.
5'9" left-hander from Fullerton, California. Has fouled a couple away here with 2 strikes. There's the 1-2.
Crowd and Tony Baldwin not happy with that call.
Randy Rowling asked for time there. She had to step off completely to reset the pitch clock. Popped up to right. Ballpark will keep this one. That'll be the second out of the inning as that one flies out to Gordon. 2 down, runner still at first, and this will bring up Jocelyn Erickson, 0 for 3 on the night. Here comes Chelsea Wilkins.
Wilkinson came out to talk with Randy Rowling. This is absolutely about her approach at this next batter. Erickson You know she's a strong hitter for the Florida Gators, and you have a runner on, so you need to minimize the impact that she can have in this at-bat, especially with 2 outs right here.
You saw Tim Walton kind of getting after Scott Mayer, our home plate umpire, there during the conversation. Went out kind of to talk to his squad, but then gave the official an earful there, something he wasn't happy about. Here's Erickson. We mentioned 0 for 3 on the night. A ground out and 2 fly balls. One and one the count here to Erickson. Down low, 2-1 the count here to her. 49 home runs as a Florida Gator, of course a transfer from Oklahoma. 212 RBIs, both 5th best all time for the Gator program. There's a strike, 3-2. And for both of these teams, it was going to be somebody that's 0 for 3, 0 for 2 needing to come up, and Jocelyn Erickson 0 for 3 comes through.
Yeah, Erickson's able to get her hands out in front of this one. Taking it far. Natalie Ray thought she had a shot at catching that, so that's why she tracked that one all the way to the wall. Ultimately, when she missed that, that ball bounced far enough away from her, allowing Comia to score. Tough situation because you want to go after that with 2 outs. You want to go after that catch.
Yeah, I mean, that's an inning ender. But you think back to Comia legging out that infield single, the speed to get on base. The moment that's misplayed, Tim Walton's sending her home.
Absolutely. And you see Goodwin out and left is playing closer towards the line. And we'll see it again right here. So when she misses that, goes actually right between the legs. There's no one there backing that up to try to get to that in time.
When you read it that way and think you've got to be that. Call on the field is a good throw from Goodwin and left.
Florida is challenging the play at the plate. The call on the field is out. The play is under further review.
So we've bragged on our crew. They're going to draw up some replays here for us to share with you.
I think that's a good use of a challenge right there.
Absolutely.
From where we're sitting, we're up above home plate. It looked like she was safe. It looked like her foot got there in time. So I'm really
curious.
And
she immediately started arguing. So
Correct.
like she's not bluffing there. She felt pretty passionately about it. So let's get a look at it. An RBI for Kendall Glover that will drive in Jocelyn Erickson.
What a huge play right here in the top of the 7th. A true momentum shift that we see right here because of the use of a challenge.
So it's an RBI single for Kendall Grover. She'll stand at first base. And that'll bring up Townsend Thomas, who is 2 for 3. And Florida may not be done yet. That one pulled foul. And the count 0-2. So a good challenge right there by Tim Walton.
Yeah, and if you're Florida right here, you don't want to stop at 2 extra. You want to get as much run support as you can in this half inning. not even allowing Georgia to try to come back right here.
0-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. But the Gators take care of business in the top half. Georgia trails by 2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And the first pitch is going to be popped up here from Bailey Lindemuth, and it's quick out here in the 7th.
That's exactly what you want to see from Rothrock right there, inducing a fly ball very quickly for an out. If you're Florida, you want to get these 3 quick outs right here and get out of here.
It's 7-8-9 for Georgia here in the bottom half of the 7th, and hitters are combined 0 for 7 here tonight. One and one the count with the fly ball and the ground out. Two and one the count here. Rothrock approaching 100 pitches. As that one misses, and the count full here for Digby, 3-2. This one, a little bloop single that will drop in front of McClellan. And it's a little one-out single for Georgia as Digby aboard. Here's Natalie Ray.
Digby not trying to do too much right there, is able to just poke it into the outfield, do her job, get on base. Now, as you spoke about earlier, it's Ray's job to kind of turn around to the top of the lineup.
Talked about Jocelyn Erickson being due there earlier, 0 for 3, coming through with the big hit. There's Ray, 0 for 2. Your job right here is to pass the bat. Get aboard and pass the bat. And get back to the top of the lineup here for Georgia. And that's a pretty interesting statistic. Georgia doesn't score 6 or more, a losing record on the season. They're 6-15 when scoring 5 or less.
It's kind of crazy because you think about college softball in general, typically not a high scoring. You're typically, especially in the SEC, you're not going to have these like higher scores, crazy scores. Georgia's offense obviously can produce.
But you'll play a bunch of 4-3 games.
Correct.
This one a 5-3 game on the opening night of the final weekend of the regular season. You're going to see pitchers as good as Keegan Rothrock nearly every weekend.
And Georgia has seen a lot of the top pitchers in the country throughout their season.
102 pitches now for Rothrock. There's a ground ball to second. That'll be a tag for 1. And Ray will be aboard on the fielder's choice, but that'll be the second out of the inning. And Georgia will be down to its final out here as the lineup card turned over once again.
In a situation like that, Digby has to do a job and kind of make the tag come to her, not just be a double play, a given double play. So she kind of goes outside of the base path a little bit to do a play, to do her job and not allow that to be a double play.
That ball will sit in right. Throw back to the bag and nearly ended the game right there with aggressive base running from Natalie Ray. So Jaden Goodwin aboard, and compliment Comia there on that tag too. You saw that ball roll up her arm. She still had to get the ball and make the tag, but what about this? Nearly a tag out at second.
Yeah, Ray was going hard around second base, saw the stop sign from Tony Baldwin, tried to bust it back and was able to get there in time, but it was definitely close.
So here's the designated player, Tyler Ellison, who was also 0 for 2 on the 9 and was hit by a pitch in the first. So Georgia has been passing the bat here in the 7th. Digby with the single, Ray on the fielder's choice. Here's Goodwin with the single. And for Florida, you keep it in front of you.
Exactly. You can let 1 run score in this situation and you're still winning this ball game. You cannot let 2 or 3 runs score.
Here's the 1-1 to Ellison. Popped up. And this will just get out of play. And the count 1-2. Fan. Young lady corralling that one in.
She looked really excited that she got that ball, and unfortunately, she's going to have to trade it in.
She'll get some Texas Roadhouse out of it.
True.
Here's a 1-2. On the outside half. Count evens 2-2.
I like that pitch in this situation. It's a big situation. You want to keep it on the edge of the zone, if not out of the zone.
The 2-2. Ground ball in the top of the 7th inning in a 3-3 game. Gators scoring 2. RBI double by Jocelyn Erickson. And then the RBI single from Kendall Grover. And the Gators take game 1 of a 3-game set here in the final weekend of the opening weekend of SEC.
Yeah, obviously the bats were on fire with some big hits this evening, but you have to commend Rothrock right there for closing out the game strong. She had her stuff all game and was able to work a variety of pitches to be deceptive against this Georgia lineup.
Florida a winner in Athens by a final score of 5-3. Everybody getting in on the action here tonight. 4 legs or 2. We will be back at it again on Friday for game 2 of this 3-game set. 6 Eastern here on the SEC Network for our entire crew. Thanks for making us a part of your Thursday night. Florida a winner 5-3.
You know, coffee spikes your cortisol.
Yeah.